She taking over. She taking over. You taking over. You got that takeover spirit. Nah, boy, I ain't with it. You got that takeover spirit. And nah, boy, I ain't with it. You got that takeover spirit. And nah, girl, I ain't with it. You got that.
You're inside the Coffee Cup with the Inglewood City Girls. I'm Coffee MiAmor.
I'm Danielle.
And our special guest is
Brian Williams.
Leo.
Hey, welcome, guys. So, these are two very nice-looking guys, as y'all see.
Gratitude.
But they own well, you tell them a little bit about yourself.
Who?
We can start with you.
Oh, okay. Ask what you want. What you want to know?
Just a little bit about you. You own the gym.
Well, I'm originally from Oklahoma.
Okay.
I moved to California in 2006. I was 19. Yeah, I moved here in 06. Played ball, come to college for 2 years. Got a scholarship. And then I had a motorcycle accident 2 weeks before I was getting ready to leave.
Oh, no.
So, paralyzed me. Mid-chest down. Decided to stay. And now we're here.
Okay.
You know, that's
Leo?
a little backdrop.
A little backdrop.
Yeah.
What about you, Mr. Leo?
I'm Leo, originally from Los Angeles, California. Yeah, had my accident in 2016, motorcycle accident, and I'm here.
Yeah, so pretty much our guests, they obviously had a motorcycle accident. Well, it's not obvious, but they had a motorcycle accident, and we felt that it would be a good topic to share the dangers of riding on motorcycles. For a lot of people who don't understand the consequences, or not even consequences, what the good and the bad. Like, what are some of the things? Why did you get on a motorcycle?
You know what? I don't, to kind of piggyback off of what you were saying, the dangers of it. I mean, there's pros and cons about it. You know, at that time, you got to remember that's something I wanted to do.
Yeah.
You know, so it's.
Were you fascinated with motorcycles?
I was. You know, I was always fascinated about them. You know, I used to ride them when I was younger. You know, the 250s.
Really?
You know, but
it's like a guy thing. Like,
it
guys
is.
just need to get on a motorcycle.
Nah, it's just, if you've never ridden one, it's kind of hard to explain it to you.
I haven't.
It's the agility around it.
Really?
You get, it's that thrill. You know,
Really?
once you hop on one, if you're going 80 in a car, it's you
Yeah.
going 80 in a car. But if you have 80 on a bike, it's
No,
a different.
thank you.
It's a different spill.
Really?
So, and then
You feel invincible, like.
not really invisible. It's just like, shit. It's a thrill. It's that power. 80 on the bike is different. 120 on the bike is different from 120 on the car.
I can imagine 120 on the bike make you. I swear I would die.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like I would die.
And it's a gas saver. That's the reason why I really bought it. You know, I used to work at LAX when I lived in Long Beach, you know, so it was a 15, 20-minute ride.
Right.
$9 in it, fill up. You
Wow.
good, you know, versus a car now $85.
Yeah.
You know, so the thrill behind it was more, and it was more fascinating to me than anything, you know, so.
So what about you, Leo?
My story is pretty much the same. Like, I grew up riding them. I was always around them when I was younger. Yeah, so I've been riding.
You never had a fear of it? Like,
Nah.
I don't want to get on that or nothing.
Well, as a kid, I was pretty much a daredevil. So I was 8 years old jumping off a roof onto a mattress.
Yeah.
Shut the
Like,
hell
doing shit like
up.
that, so,
That's
getting on a bike.
crazy.
Yeah,
So it was like in you, both of y'all.
Yeah,
like,
much,
what?
you know.
Because it ain't in me. Like, I don't even.
But honestly, my initial reason for getting on the bike, because I saw the reaction my childhood idol was getting from women.
Who was he?
You know, he was just a dude in the neighborhood.
Oh, in the neighborhood,
I was
okay.
just like, yeah, he used to pull up on his dirt bike, and chicks used to be like, "Oh my god," you know what I'm saying? So I was,
What kind of bike did you guys ride?
we had dirt bikes, we had mini bikes.
No, when you grew up. Like, were you on a
I was
Harley?
on the sports bike. I was
okay.
eventually going to get to the Harley, but never actually got there.
Yeah, it was
But
street
He
bike.
was the main
Oh,
reason
no.
why
Yeah.
I got on a bike.
The dirt bike at first.
Yeah.
And then it,
I tell
Oh,
you,
that
Turned
dirt
over.
bike is
Yeah.
scary as hell.
yeah.
It's cool though. I mean, it's a thrill. It's all about a thrill.
Yeah, man. It's a feeling that you
And
can't
adrenaline
feel
rush, you know?
until you actually hop on one.
Yeah.
I rode on the back of one. I was talking to a dancer that rode one, and I was so scared.
Dancer, huh?
Yeah, a strip one, you know.
A strip one?
Yeah.
What is that?
You say Euro?
A strip one, a strip dancer.
Oh, a male
A
exotic
strip
dancer.
dancer.
Yeah.
Those guys.
Yeah. And he had one, and he kept, I always be like, oh, no, don't do it, don't come over my house with it or whatever. Seemed like as soon as he come to my house, he wanted to be like, and like super, and I'm like, that has
Why?
nothing to do with riding
Why?
it.
And they-
Why are you doing that? You know? But I got on the back of it one day when he was like, I'm going to go so slow. I'm like, all right, I'm going to go to the end of the block. I'm going to go slow. I'm like, all right, if this is what you like, I'm going to try it. Do you know that nigga, soon as I got on that mud, he was like, run!
How did you feel?
You know what? That's a good question. No
Yeah.
one's ever asked me
I was
that.
about to ask you how did you feel.
There was a mix of emotions, but it was ultimately sexy at the end of the day.
Exactly.
But I was mad because anything could have happened, but it didn't happen. So ultimately, it was a sexy feeling. It was like, I don't know. It was thrilling. It was amazing. The wind was slapping me. Like, like
And that was just
it
on the
was
street.
so fast, and it literally was probably about 5 seconds, because we just went from the end of the block, you know. It was so fast, so
And that's
I
how long
get
it
it,
takes.
but I don't want to be like that with car. There were no cars, so I wouldn't have want that. The cars would scare the shit out of me.
And that's what happened with me on the block. 5 seconds, paralyzed. On the block. It wasn't on the street. It wasn't on the freeway. It wasn't. It was on the residential street. Same thing you're talking about from one end to the other end.
What? That's
Okay,
what I
so
was gonna
take
get
us there.
into.
What
next.
happened?
Yeah.
I was off of Greenleaf in Compton. It was off of Greenleaf back in the residential street. I was leaving a friend's house of mine at the time, and had a curve at the end, and I just throttled it and kind of just turned my head for a split second while I was still in motion. Like if I'm talking to you and I'm walking, I turn back and the curve is right there, or the pole is right there. So I panicked, and when I panicked, I slammed on the front brake, and the back of the bike popped
Oh,
up,
no.
threw me over.
So it wasn't like a car
Wasn't-
accident?
mm-mm.
Damn.
Nah, no one but me. If I would have, for a long time, if I would have just hit the front brake or just let the bike take the curve, maybe I would have flipped over it, and maybe I wouldn't have flipped. Maybe I would have just landed flat, but it happened that way. Yeah, I flipped over the bike. I don't even remember. I'm just going by what people told me.
It knocked you out.
Yeah, I was unconscious for a split second. My helmet split down the middle.
Oh my God.
Yeah, the right side of my jaw cracked. The left side of my jaw snapped in half. I got screws in my spine and my jaw.
What?
Yeah. So
But your tongue still work, right?
yeah.
The tongue.
Yeah, hey, that split too. That
did?
split.
Oh my God, it did.
I just sewed it back on.
They
but-
sold it.
Yeah, but it worked.
It works.
Yes, Lord.
Thank you, Jesus.
can
Okay. Oh,
I can talk.
you could talk that talk too, huh?
Yeah, I can talk.
All right.
Okay.
Leo. What's your story? Why are you looking at him like that? What is going on?
So she asked, I tell.
Hello?
I was like, where's this going? Do that tongue work? Like, where is this going?
You got me choking.
It ain't never worked so
I'm
much till
trying to
after.
figure out where it's going.
You heard him.
Huh?
He
Go
said
ahead,
it
keep
ain't
talking.
never worked so much till after.
Go ahead.
I bet.
I grew up.
You grew up fast,
Grew up
huh?
real fast.
And that tongue got strong fast.
It's a hard act
22.
to follow.
How'd you
Let me
have
say,
your
before Leo had his accident, I met him. And how I met him, he was,
Drink time.
Let me tell
I
you.
don't want to say, I want to say that he was an exotic dancer at the time, but I hired him to do a bachelorette party. And when I tell you, he was the best dancer I've ever seen.
You said
She
he
haven't seen
wasn't
many.
An exotic dancer at the
She
time?
didn't
I
see
don't-
many.
I didn't see many, but that was enough.
Damn.
That's all you need to see.
Yeah.
Give it that.
They had
No.
like the
You know, his head is already big, so you
the
know.
bride to be and him had this exchange
Ooh.
of a dance
Uh-huh.
that would make you take your jaws off watching. It was so good. It was so freaking good.
What you did?
I just watched. I did watch.
She must have did a little more
That's
somewhere in her head or something. She remembered that
And
shit.
I was like,
How long
Let
ago
her
was
tell.
this?
Let her tell.
it was about 5 years ago. So I'm like, when I heard that he had an accident, I'm like, hell no. He can't. Come
He
on,
can't
man.
dance.
She was in her
Anyhow.
feelings. She got no feelings
God
real
damn
fast.
it.
I'm like, what the? That was the only stripper that I would tell, like, Nia, you got to hire him. I'm like, and it was like 2-3 weeks later. And I'm like.
Was it 2 or 3? It wasn't 2 or 3 weeks
it was.
later.
It was.
Was
How
it?
did you hear about
No.
It was, everybody just heard about it. It just went.
Well,
the news.
I heard about it through. We have mutual friends, so that's how I heard about it. But do you remember me telling you to stay off the bike?
Yeah.
That night.
Yeah, I had this weird feeling.
Well, J spot, wasn't we?
We're at the J spot.
Yeah,
Because the thing, so this is weird, and I'll just share it. I had a brother. Well, that's not weird. I had a brother that was riding a bike, and he passed. He got hit. A car like snapped his back tire, and he like flew 16 feet in the air. And he came down, he just everything was cracked, shattered, whatever. So I think he died on the scene. We were not there, but they didn't want to tell us. You know, they were like, "Oh, he had an accident." When we went to the hospital. That's when they were like, "Go in that little room," and he died. So and then right after that, my male exotic friend, 6 years later, he died. So I had this thing about motorcycles, like, period. I don't want to be by them. I don't like to smell them. I don't like to see them. I don't like nothing about them. So when we meet him, I did meet him at the party. I had known about him around the way, Leo. And I just had this, like, I was asleep, and I was like, I don't know, it just kept tugging on me. So the night that I met him at the bachelorette party, it's like, this is not the time to be talking. It just hit me then. But I was like, a motorcycle, because he was trying to leave the party. And I'm like, you can't leave. You're on a motorcycle. Like, he's
And we
like,
were
nah,
far.
I'm safe. Like, you know. So then I told one of our mutual friends, like, please tell him, like, I just don't really have a good feeling. Tell him to stay off the bike. And so I ended up going to the J spot where he was singing one night, and I saw him, and I'm like, I don't even know him like that to want to pull him to the side and be like, yo, I had this feeling. But somehow we had an interaction. I'm like, stay off the bike. Like, I didn't tell him I had a feeling. I just was like, stay off the bike, you know? And I think it was a couple of days later, I was like, fuck, like, you know, then I'm telling him to stay off. So, you know, but God has a plan.
But did
you
a
know?
part of you feel as if you kind of wished you would have been like, hey?
A part of me for a minute, I did feel like I should have been like, oh,
A little more aggressive.
the
about it.
Lord is telling me.
Yeah.
But we didn't know each other like
And
that.
also, when you talk to people about, because I remember that conversation between them, he got a little combative. Like,
Yeah, he
did. Anything can happen, and then
Yeah, he was running down. He was giving me the Leoism.
You know, whatever.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. He definitely Leoized me. You know what I'm saying?
And a lot of people do that,
and they
especially
do.
with these bikes. They have all the reasons to give. They have it ready for you.
Yeah.
Before you even tell them
Yeah.
not to do it.
So it was very hurtful when we found out that he had gotten his accident. But what happened? Because I don't even think I know the story.
I can only tell you partially, partial pieces of it because of the legal stuff I signed to not say anything about it.
What?
I know, right?
How does that work?
We'll get there, I guess.
Okay.
How can I say this? I never sued him, but he made sure I was good.
Oh.
So, due to that, I signed documents saying I can't discuss it.
What actually happened?
Yeah.
Well, why? We don't have to know who he is.
I'm
I
not-
know
I'm-
a serious,
I'm
like a
just saying-
serious question,
I'm just
like
saying,
why?
like,
That's
I can tell
the-
you it, but
yeah.
I can only tell you certain pieces,
Okay.
parts of it.
All
but
right.
I was coming down La Cienega, and I noticed a particular vehicle, like bobbing and weaving in lanes. So I was just trying to decide, like, am I gonna pass him, or am I just gonna switch, or am I gonna just figure out what he gonna do? So he stayed still. So I'm like, all right, I'm just pass him. As soon as I decided to just pass him, that's when he kind of clipped me in the back of my bike, and it flipped me. And the car that was on the side, the mirror, it wasn't a normal mirror. It was one of them long mirrors that stick out like this. So my back hit that mirror and like it snapped my back in half because I didn't have on no gear that day.
Oh my God.
No gear. I had on a jacket earlier, but it was like 92 degrees that day in LA, and I'm like, I'm not about to wear no leather jacket. I'm just going down the street and come back. So went home, took that jacket off, and I just had on a wife beater and a helmet. Had I kept that jacket on, I probably would have been good. But like when I woke up, I was under somebody's Jeep.
Oh my
when I woke
goodness.
up.
What the
Yeah,
hell?
I have no idea how long I was out, but I remember everything before it happened.
Damn.
So what's going through your mind when you wake up?
Shit, let me get the fuck from under this car. So I was trying to get from under the car, and it was like, don't move, don't move. I'm like,
No, fuck
fuck
that.
that.
Yeah.
Like,
Can't move,
Right.
so I managed, I don't know how the fuck I did it. Mind you, because I'm not knowing that my legs ain't working. I'm just like pulling myself out, going like this. When I did that, I made it worse. And so by this time, I'm from up under the Jeep, and I'm trying to get up. And this lady was like, do not move. Please don't move. I'm like, bitch. I mean, I didn't mean to say the B word.
Yeah,
but I'm
you
like,
good?
I can't. Like,
Right.
I'm noticing, like, shit, like,
Oh.
I'm going like this. And I'm like, oh, this shit ain't moving. I'm like, oh, shit. Okay.
Oh my
By
God.
this time,
The ambulance.
you know, I can't tell the rest of the story, but yeah, that's.
Did you know that he was paralyzed?
I knew immediately.
Yeah.
Like,
Dang.
immediately.
How when you was like, I'm paralyzed, what was going through your mind?
Like, I can't move. Like, it felt like my body was levitating. Like, it was uneven.
Oh my
It
God.
felt uneven. Like, my lower half was low, and my upper chest was like.
What the fuck?
That shit
Mentally,
so
what
weird.
the fuck happened
Yeah.
to you?
Like, I don't even like. I was just sitting there like I can't do nothing, so I ain't gonna panic. So if I panic, it'll be worse. So I'm just like, I'm gonna just sit here.
Did you have that feeling, Brian? When like, did you know immediately?
Nah, I didn't. I was 22.
Man,
I was 22 years. You were what? 30?
I was 30.
30. I was 22.
22 years old. You
I
were
ain't-
still a baby.
Yeah, I didn't know what paralyzed was. I just knew I couldn't move. I knew I did something wrong. I remember laying there and I'm spitting up blood.
Oh,
And
my
tongue
God.
is sliced and I knocked the tooth out. So I remember laying there and immediately. At that time, the young lady I was seeing, her uncle came and was like, "Don't move." He was holding my head. "Don't move." I'm like, I can't move. First thing I'm thinking about, I need to get up because my younger
Right.
brother's coming into town the next day. So I'm like, I need
So
to get
you
up.
thinking about somebody else,
Yeah.
not even you at the moment.
I'm not even. I knew that I couldn't move my lower extremity, but I didn't think about being paralyzed. I didn't know what it
Yeah.
was.
Your adrenaline, both of you guys, y'all adrenaline was going
Yeah.
at the time.
Absolutely.
I didn't know I was in ICU for 3 days. They came in. I remember waking up. I had a tube from my back that was draining blood. I remember just seeing it, and I still can't feel my legs, but I'm not thinking nothing. The nurses are coming in. I'm being myself, flirting with the nurses,
Right.
and telling them when I get out of here, I'm coming back for you, and what I need to do to get out of here. And,
you just,
And they probably looking
and
like,
they're just like,
baby.
baby. That's what they're saying. You're
Yeah.
fine, baby. You know, and I'm just being myself. I knew something wasn't right, but I didn't know what it was.
Dang.
I got out of ICU, went to my room, and they're telling me, okay, well, you got to go to therapy. And I'm like, therapy?
For what?
Just tell me what I need to do so I can get up out of here. You know, brought me to a wheelchair, and I'm like, what the fuck is a wheelchair for? At this time, no one's telling me
I
that
was
I'm
about
paralyzed.
to ask you that. No one
me
told
nothing.
neither one. Did someone tell you?
Oh, I knew. I already knew.
I didn't
You
know.
knew, but you were
Yeah.
trying to think like maybe temporarily, maybe.
Exactly.
Yeah.
how long is this going to
Right.
That's-
So
that's-
who was when they told you? How did y'all feel?
Yeah, when they told me sit up in bed, I couldn't sit up because I'm paralyzed mid-chest now. I'm not paralyzed waist now. I'm
Yeah.
paralyzed mid-chest, so meaning I have no core contractions, no lower back contractions.
Right now,
So
you're.
I can't. So I can't sit up.
Yeah.
Like if I was to hug you, I have to have one hand down and hold you like this, because if I let my balance would be all off.
Oh wow.
so-
Let's see.
Damn.
You know. But no, it was just once they sat me up in bed and I you know, the normal natural thing. I let my hands go. When I put both of my hands up, I just boom, fall over.
Dang.
You know, so that's when it hit me. It's like, okay, this is what it is.
Yeah.
Then they tell me what's going on.
Yeah.
You know,
But how did you feel when they said that? Like, this is the rest of your life.
they never said rest of their life. You know, they never told me that.
What?
They never told me until I asked. And when I asked, and then our doctor was like, I said, Doc, is this was a checkup after the hospital, after they, like, nigga, it's time for you to be out. 6 weeks, you done. Get up out of here.
Disrespectful. That's hella
You know,
disrespectful.
I said, Doc, what's up? Like, is this forever? And he was like, that's
No.
exactly what he did was, you know. And
No.
So were you guys dating at the time?
Pause. You have to say, so were you and the lady dancing or dating at the time? Because you're making it seem like we dated.
No.
No.
Right?
Hold on.
Because it's two people here, so you gotta clarify.
I'm trying to figure out how. When did they tell you? You never answered.
Okay, yeah, go ahead. When did they tell you what happened when you got to the hospital?
Oh no, like I said, I already knew because you know I felt like I was levitating, so I already knew. But once I got there, I got out of surgery. I didn't even know I was in surgery for 2 days. Shit, I thought it was the same day. But I woke up and he was like, "How you doing, Mr. Harmon?" I'm like, "Tired of shit, duh, nigga." I'm waking up off the anesthesia. But he was like, "Yeah, we just want to have a conversation with you." I'm like, "All right, cool." He was like, "Are you aware you had an accident?" I said, "Yeah, I had it yesterday or today, whatever the date was." He was like, "Yeah, there's a strong possibility that you may not be able to walk again." I was like, "All right."
So what's the other possibility, huh?
You know, like, okay. He was just like, "Yeah, I just want to, make sure you understand what I'm saying." I was like, "Yeah, I get it. I just had an accident. I knew something was wrong, but I didn't know it was to that extreme." I was like, "So how long are we talking?" He was like, "It's going to be a while." I said, "What's a while?"
Right.
He's like, "Maybe it may be permanent. We don't know. Everyone's different." I said, "So there's a possibility that I'm not going to walk again." He said, "Yeah, it's a very strong possibility." I
Wow.
was like, "All right, cool, bet." He's like, "You all right?" I'm like, "Shit, I gotta be." Like, I ain't about to stress over it.
But mentally, it didn't. Because I'm a mental person. Like,
Right.
things hit me later. Like, especially when you're black and you grow up in the hood, we have this sense of strong groundedness. Like, we get, like, our first line of defense is like, I gotta overcome this shit.
get through it.
Absolutely.
But when you're in your quiet time and when, you know what I'm saying, you laying down there and it's like, fuck, you know what I'm saying, this thing is real. I want to know, how did you ever have those moments?
Yeah.
You had them?
Yeah.
Talk about that.
It was like I would get through it regardless.
Yeah, like what are some of the emotions that you felt?
Shit, what emotion did I not feel is the question. I know the first emotion, man, it was let's hit the red button at the top. The first emotion was it was confusion. I was confused. I didn't know what was going on. Then once I was told, then I was angry.
Yeah.
And then once I got over the anger, I pushed people away. Now I'm by myself. Now I'm hurt.
Yeah.
You know,
Damn.
moved to California to play ball. Working 2 jobs just to survive at 19, no family. Doing what I'm supposed to be doing now. Why me?
Yeah. Damn.
So I went through every emotion, man. It was. And then once I had to, it took me 4 years to accept it.
Wow.
It took me 4 years, like, you know what, this is what it is. The first year, I wouldn't get out the house. I wouldn't do nothing.
Right.
The second year was like, okay, let's jump back on the horse. The third year was, you're getting somewhere. The fourth year, okay, now you need to accept it so you can move forward. So once I accepted it, then things became emotion. But I went through, every emotion you can think of, I went through it. So.
Did you have, like, experienced depression?
I was never depressed. I just took, the first year I just took a moment of just like, I was confused.
Yeah.
I didn't know what to do, so I just kind of went with the flow.
Yeah.
Go to therapy.
Yeah.
My grandmother came out at the time, to help me out for a little bit. She went back 7 months afterwards.
Dang.
I'm gonna go to therapy now. After that, he's like, "You gonna come back home?" Nah, I'm gonna figure it out.
Yeah.
I moved out. I moved to
That's
a new
still
location.
tight. You trying to be strong
Yeah,
in
man.
this whole
Independent and very young.
situation.
Yeah, it was. I just accepted it. It took me. I accepted it from the jump, but it took me a while to really accept it. It took me 4 years to really accept it.
Yeah.
I was just kind of going with the flow at first.
Yeah.
Because I was 22, I didn't know what to expect. All I knew was play ball, get up out of here.
Yeah.
So
Damn.
it put me in a position of, I had to grow. It made me grow up a little bit more.
Did you have any depression?
I didn't really have time for depression, honestly.
Wow. You guys are amazing.
I was 30, so I was like, at this point, I'm like, I done did pretty much everything.
Right.
So I'm like, I didn't have no time to be mad.
Okay.
I kind of honestly knew why it happened. Like, I took the religious approach to it.
Yeah.
So, like, that's kind of what made it not so bad. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Because I knew, when you know better, you do better.
Yeah.
And at the time, I wouldn't,
Did your
living-
families take it worse than you guys?
They, of course they did.
Yeah.
And that was another thing I had to not accept, but realize, because I was walking around here like I was the only one affected.
Right.
But I was talking to a lady and she was like, no, like everyone around you is affected. I'm like, what the fuck you talking about? I'm the only one dealing with this shit. They
Right.
walking, I ain't walking.
Right.
She was like, nah, like they're dealing with it
Right.
just like you are. It's
No,
not worse.
it's not worse. Yeah, because I couldn't
felt,
believe
I
it.
felt it myself when I
Yeah.
heard about you, and I didn't know if I can reach out to you or
Right.
I didn't. It was just
Or
like what
should,
Yeah.
And I know parents are like, they have to take it the worst. You know, they did all this and they see they know your potential from birth, and then they see like what your new challenges are going to be, and you know what I'm saying? They feel helpless because they are not in that situation, so they can't even guide you. You know what I'm saying?
Probably very protective.
Yeah, so that's crazy.
I think the natural instinct of us kicked in. Us being so independent for so long.
Yeah.
I tell people this all the time. I'm glad it happened when I was 22.
Oh my
versus
God, that's such a baby.
52, 62.
Yeah.
You already lived a little bit of life.
Yeah.
22, you're just beginning. So
Yeah,
now you
let's
have
talk
time
about
to
that,
alter.
because yours was 30.
Yeah.
Do you feel the same way? Because he seems like he's glad that, not glad, but
Yeah, I get you.
more grateful that he didn't get to live this whole life, because it probably would have been worse, right?
Me and him talk about
definitely
that.
sucked. It definitely would have sucked if it would have happened like at a 50-year-old or 60, because it's like, are you gonna be able to fend for yourself? Like, as are you gonna learn what you need to learn right away? And it's just like depression would have for sure set in.
Yeah.
If it would have been. Like
And I
that
know
50
you
or something.
think of like what I could have did different, or what should have happened different, or like, you know what I'm saying? How like
change
dreams sometimes, like, damn, I could have just did this, or
Yep. Could have kept my jacket on.
Yep.
yeah.
Same situation.
Do you guys have kids?
Not at the moment. No, not at the moment.
No.
You
One
want
day.
kids?
One day.
Why
for
you?
sure.
Why? Your no is a little.
For sure. Old lady and I see the whole shebang. For sure.
You want a child,
Of course. I
Okay.
have to have one. It's a must.
right? And are you like able to have children?
Yeah. It's just, it's well, I'm going to speak upon me because everyone's different.
Right.
Let me speak upon me because
I'm not having kids because I can't do it the way I want to do it.
Okay. Damn.
If I can't rock no boat, ain't no boat rocking.
Everyone's different, man. Every paraplegic is different. Every guy in a wheelchair will tell you something. You hear a lot of similar stories, but you also hear something that's a little different.
Right.
So some guys can physically ejaculate, and some guys have to actually have the semen poured out of them and put in someone.
Right.
So it just depends on the individual.
Right.
But yes, we all can have kids. It might just have to be done in different manners.
Different ways.
Yeah.
So you
different
just
ways.
still haven't found the right one to have a child with.
Relationships is on a pause at this moment. I'm doing
Is it hard to date?
Not at all.
No.
It's just hard to find the
Because
right.
you got a whole suave thing with these blue-green eyes that you got. So
Yeah.
when you walk in, I know the ladies just be like,
Yeah, that's, you know what, not to toot my own
Give
horn,
me
but
some context.
it's just something about
Because
his
we have
thing.
he's Gemini.
Okay.
He's
I was like,
Gemini.
It's something about him. He walked
That's
in the room
his
and he
son,
be like,
yo.
I don't know if I would
walked
ever
in the
date
room.
somebody.
He walked in the room.
No, yeah. So I went to the gym. said, "No, God damn it." He just,
Who is this guy?
him?
They a duo. Like one's got
This
green
is
eyes,
Leo.
one's singing.
This is Leo.
She already think we dating.
No.
What the hell?
So I was just like, because I have a friend of mine that actually found her husband, but he was in a chair when she met him.
Yeah.
And they're happily in love. So I never knew how that can even work. And but if they was packaged like that, I get why women would just be all over you. You too, sir.
No. I don't have to be included. I'm okay.
No,
No, don't do him like that. Go
Did
ahead.
you smash?
Would I smash? I don't know how that would even work.
Would you
Yeah,
smash?
that
Is
was
the
a yes or no.
question.
That was yes or no.
Yeah.
He's very attractive.
Would you smash?
I don't know how to answer this question.
It's
We
a yes or no question.
He's slurping. We thinking. We looking.
I'm like doing this, getting out of it.
Listen,
Okay,
she don't let the right hand know what the left hand doing.
this is what I'm saying.
I can
He's
take
very attractive. I just don't. I haven't been in a situation where, and I'm gonna just be honest. I haven't been in a situation where I would be like, I'm so inquisitive that I would be like, how is this gonna work? I'll be the whole time like, okay, so you want to date me or
So do
smash?
y'all
You
date?
would smash.
Do y'all date women and do you have sex with them?
Can she answer my question first?
This is what we do on the show, so I pick up the alley loop.
Do
Would
we-
you
She
smash?
threw you the ooh. She from the donkey.
Would you not smash or do you smash women?
Is that a trick question?
No, it's just, people don't know this.
How
You
do
in the
smash?
paraplegic.
How can I say yes? I don't even know how
I mean,
to.
listen,
Right, are you
listen, I'ma
donkey
get right to the
fucking
point.
women?
At the end of the day, we still can have sex.
You can have
At
sex.
the end
Hell
of the
yeah,
day,
we can have sex.
now me personally, I might not be able to feel it, but I can still
Put it down.
do what I need to do.
So how does the women react? Because I like my man to be able to feel me.
Now, that was a question.
But how do you
even
know
before
the man
injury.
can feel you? All you doing is fucking back.
His
Because
I guess
for us,
so.
it's all mental now.
Right, but that's
But
what I'm
knowing
saying.
that knowing that we
what
can
she
please
said.
women is
Right.
how we get aroused.
Right,
Okay.
I think that's
So-
how it is anyway, right?
With women in general.
Right.
Women
Well,
in general.
for women, yeah.
So we understand
Okay.
a little bit more, but at the end of the day, we can still. That was a time for me personally that when I could not, when I first had my injury, it was a time. The first 6 weeks, I was still having an erection. I was having sex in the hospital.
What
The first 6 weeks.
You are lying to
I
me.
was still having sex in the hospital. Then eventually it subsided. Like everything came to a halt. Like I wouldn't even get an erection.
Some lady, girl,
A few,
whatever,
several.
several,
Yeah. I mean, if you
It's
don't,
the
if you don't,
eyes,
if you don't
you'll see
use
the
it, you
eyes.
lose it.
several women were coming to your bedside
Some damn
where
context.
you needed love and support
Yeah.
and was hopping their horny ass on you.
To them, you got to remember, I was 22. In their eyes, that's what love and support was.
Okay.
So you got to remember, these are women that are 21, 22, 23, 24. I think the oldest is like 27.
That's the definition of hot and ass.
Yeah, I mean, they ain't know
she-
no better.
I'm
Just
not
like I
gonna
did.
think that's
I get
what
what you
you
mean.
You
want.
get what I'm saying? Like, so they didn't know no better, so I didn't know no better. So you got to remember, at 22, you come to my house at 2 o'clock in the morning,
Yeah.
you got to bring me food, and then we're going to get sexually active.
Yeah.
So that's the
Well, damn.
narrative that they would still
'Cause
do at that
women
time.
do-
Well,
at
you
that
a
age,
pimp
they
by
don't know how
blood.
to stroke a man's mind.
That's
or
not
feed
true.
him.
That's
we
not
didn't know how to
true.
feed
I'm
you too
sorry.
as well,
I
so-
knew that.
But what I'm saying is
Sorry.
a lot of women at a young age, they always think like, I gotta give you the
Yeah,
goods
yeah,
so
yeah,
that you can feel. Because
100%.
men are so.
I don't think
sexual.
that. I don't think that's an age thing. I think that's a dumb thing. I think there are some women who
That
do that
still
too.
do that at-
Well, if you're
And-
not-
50.
right, they
Yeah,
nobody.
you're right
That's
about
not
it.
exempt to age.
But if you're not taught, then how would you know?
You're right, but you could teach yourself.
True. We had fun.
Um,
We learned our lessons. We went through the stage of being young. I was 22. At the time, I felt if sexual intercourse was the only thing that I can offer a woman until I grew 4 years later and accepted it. As time went on, I'm 35. Now it's to the point to where you need that one, that backbone, that support.
Yeah. Damn.
Yeah, we all had that thing in the hospital, where it was, everyone was confused. We was confused, he was confused. We didn't know how to handle it. They didn't know how to handle it. We just kept trying to do the same thing that we normally would do.
So when did you get to a point where you had to switch up your whole game and you realize, okay, the things that I used to do to get a girl is different now? So what were kind of the things that you had to change when you realized, okay, this is not working anymore? You probably look at women different now, see
Yeah.
them differently.
I respect them a lot more. I've always respected women, but it's a different type of respect. You know, it was. I've always respected women, man. You know, but it was never women. It was me. It was always me at the end of the day. You know, it's like I had to grow up, but it took time for me to grow up. You can't rush the process of growing up. You can't rush. I'm 35. I can't rush being 36.
Yeah.
It just has to naturally happen.
Yeah.
So that's what I had to do. And once I grew and came to the point, it's like, you know what, I need a little bit more than what I was doing. Because I don't like doing the same things that I used to be able to do. I just can't meet a woman and I can lust over a woman and be like, I just want to fuck. That shit don't attract me no more. Let's sit down and have an intimate conversation, see where your headspace is, and then we can take it there. You know, so it took time. It took time to grow. You can't rush growth, man. And that's a part of the journey. It's beautiful.
So what do you get out of sex? Like, how do you, because you know she wants the penetration. What is now the penetration doesn't matter to you guys?
100%.
What matters during the sexual activity now?
It's more of an ego stroker when it comes to knowing that I'm in love with this woman and I want to make love to her versus just penetrating her. You know, knowing that she's becoming aroused and knowing that she's getting aroused and knowing that we actually love each other. We have an intimate thing psychologically and mentally.
Oh, y'all get to say the things women really want to hear now.
And that's the thing about it. So
So
we
all
gotta
the
find a
men
man
gotta
and-
get
and-
a
yeah,
gotta
to
get a numb
attention.
shot.
Yeah, like what?
You got to find the right one. But they're rare. You
They're
know,
very rare.
They're rare. They're rare. But, you know, it depends on the guy. And it's really women, like I'll tell all my girls, man, you know, you hold the power. And it's not
Y'all
just what you
better
got between your
preach
legs.
that.
You hold the power. You hold the power.
Because
you
a
know?
lot of men outside of your situation, you know, they walk around, they just slanging it to the left and the right, and it's like, yeah, I'm the prize. You know what I'm saying? But the Bible says he that finds a wife. You know what I'm
Finds a
saying?
great thing.
Yeah.
We are the
100%.
addition.
100%. No, y'all.
You know? I just had that conversation, y'all
Y'all are everything.
We are. Yes, that's how you get them.
Yeah.
Look at me again and say that.
Yeah,
Do
y'all-
it.
y'all
Do
get 'em.
it.
Yeah, I get that. Look, without y'all,
Yes.
we ain't shit, man. Without y'all, we are nothing, man. Like I would be the
Wait,
first to
wait,
vouch and tell you.
Yeah.
You see that napkin?
Yes, we did. We did.
Hey.
Leo, don't be over here
He
doing
been
us
squirming
in.
out of everything.
Right,
Leo,
yeah,
so
you
But
what's
said
it takes
nothing.
time, though. It takes time.
Yeah.
It takes time. It
Leo,
takes
what you
time.
doing with the women?
I'm saved.
I'm saved.
What does that
sanctified, and
mean?
filled
Filled with the Holy Ghost.
Spirit. Do not play
Yes,
with
What
Lord.
me.
does that mean, sir?
Saved.
So you don't do women?
I'm born again.
Huh?
So you don't?
You could answer it.
Hold on now.
Don't do women.
I don't do women? What do you mean?
I'm asking you. Do you date?
Oh,
Not right now, no.
No. Why?
I don't think right now is the greatest time in the world for me to be dating due to what I'm trying to do.
define dating though.
Oh. Y'all got her in the corner. She's
You know, 'cause I told somebody that earlier. Yesterday they were saying something about relationships. I'm like, until there's a ring, it's dating, right?
Hello.
Now you could date exclusively. You can date with commitment. But seeing someone.
So a ring means you're dating, or a ring?
A ring means you're married.
You're married or on your way there. And that's when you're off the market. Other than that, everything is
Figuring things out as you go.
dating.
Are you dating?
I am.
How many?
One.
What's the point of dating one if you're dating?
Because
Well,
I
because
date
she's dating exclusively.
Oh, that's, you got to clarify that.
She
you
said
asked
that.
me a question. I answered it just like
You
that.
should have said I'm dating exclusive.
So what are you guys doing now? Like, what are you working on? What do you do? Because you're not dating. You're dating. What are you guys planning on getting married one day?
One day, of course.
One day.
Whenever the time. Like,
Whenever I say yes.
It's hey. Whenever,
Leo, fit your face.
whenever God put me in that position, I leave it up to Him, and a man knows when it's that time. And if a man tells you that, if he's iffy, he's bullshitting you. A man knows. He knows when you're that one. He's not gonna waste no time.
So I
Oh,
just
damn.
want to, before we end up having to wrap up or something, I want to just to big you guys up for the accomplishments that you did.
Man,
do
that's what I'm saying.
after.
What are you doing
Appreciate you.
now?
Because
Like, what have you?
Leo, He did the whole bodybuilding thing. Did you
Yeah,
do that
he
as
did,
well?
yeah.
He got me into it.
Okay, so is that how you guys met?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh no, that's not how y'all met.
Well, we met at I seen him at a
I
facility.
was basically a fan of his. He never followed me back.
I didn't.
called him
I
out
didn't.
about it. He, know.
I didn't know. Like I seen
Really?
him. He was in the building, and I was leaving. He was coming in. Actually, I was leaving. He was outside, and I see a guy. I've been in church for 13 years. He's been in church for 4 years. So I like introduced myself, and he was like, "Leo face," as he always does. Nigga, I know who you are. Straight face, and I'm just like, okay, how? He's like Instagram. I was like, all right, bet. You know, and we clicked ever since. You know, so and then there was the wheelchair body. Leo, you know, he genetically just has his natural physique, whereas a nice physique, you know, naturally built. And I told him about it, and I told him about a friend of mine, and I hooked him up with, and we all three became good friends. You know, so we
Okay.
just clicked from there.
Yeah,
We
that's
just clicked
dope.
From there, man.
Yeah.
That's dope stuff.
And
And
we have
then
won the competitions as well.
Yeah,
Right.
the wheelchair bodybuilding.
Yeah.
yeah.
How
wheelchair
was that
bodybuilding.
experience? Is it different? I mean, I know you have to train your mind up to get really
Yeah.
strong.
Yeah, it's all mental, man. If you're not mentally there, you can't do it because it's based upon around that 24/7.
but
As far
that's
as
the thing.
workouts and nutrition.
Your
But we
your
already
mind
there.
are right.
Yeah.
You guys' mind was strong
Built
from the
different.
gate. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So if you ever had those questions like, why me? God knows what he's doing with
Exactly.
some people would have folded.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Committed suicide. Because I had that question when we were in the gym, and I asked, you know, Danielle was saying like, oh, when I start training with Leo, would you have rather your brother die or be in a wheelchair? And I'm just like, damn, that's a good ass question.
Yeah.
You know, but I probably rathered him die because I don't feel like he would have wanted to be in a wheelchair. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But obviously, God created you guys to stay around,
Yeah.
and took his life, unfortunately.
And it kinda
So
goes back-
he knew
Yeah.
what he would want,
Exactly.
clearly.
Exactly.
But you guys' mind, and I'm not saying that my brother's mind wasn't strong or whatever. I'm just saying I don't think that he could have coped the way you guys. Who knows? But you guys are doing hella amazing things, and it's mental. You know what I'm saying? Overall, so I think
Appreciate
that's dope as fuck.
You
Yeah.
know,
know
give
what
you
I'm
more than
saying?
you can bear.
Absolutely, makes me want to marry both of y'all. And I just
Yeah.
go home, go down the aisle, and just have one on the right, one on the left.
Yes,
Little
Lord.
Twix
We'll
package.
hold you up.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, say the
polyamorous
right things.
relationship.
Right. So we want to talk to y'all a little more. Are y'all in a rush? Can y'all stay around a little bit?
You can stay.
You can stay. I like Brian. Leo is me. This Gemini
Yeah.
right here. This is why I used to be in love with Geminis.
But
I
you
used to be
hate
in
us
love.
too.
No, now you guys work my everlasting. It's Geminis. That's why I told you.
Ooh, Gemini.
It's Geminis. But
Well, it's
see,
the
they
ones that
And
you've
Leo the liar.
yeah, lies every opportunity.
Put us in that box. son.
Lies every opportunity. Look at Leo face.
Put us in that box.
That's why he not gonna stay. He like, Brian, I'm leaving your ass. We gonna order y'all some food. Please stay around with us. We got to wrap, but it's so far that we're gonna call this part 1.
Part 1.
I
Definitely.
would walk off, but I can't.
Thank God,
Yeah.
because we want you here. No.
It's just so much more to get into.
Yeah,
with
so
you
much
guys.
more to get into. But so part 1, we're gonna order some lunch or something.
I
Okay.
appreciate you having us.
Did you
Yeah.
say yes? Can you
Yeah,
say
he
yes
said
on camera?
yes. He called him
I
hoes.
low-key had a date
No.
at 6.
Tell
Oh,
her
I
that.
thought you weren't dating.
No, right.
I'm not dating.
What the hell? So you
Lies
just got
every
some
opportunity.
food to get at 6. Damn.
A date with some food. Yeah, fuck it.
But yeah, part 1. Welcome to the Coffee Cup, guys. I hope you enjoyed yourselves, and we can't wait to part 2.
We'll be back.
Can't wait.
Gratitude.
Hey, it's a wrap.